Today is Teacher Tuesday, where I show you how you can apply makeup in the simplest ways and add it to your daily schedule. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my first makeup tutorial on how to apply foundation. So first things first, I'm going to show you all the brushes that you can use, and there might be more brushes out there that you can use, but these are just the ones that I use on a daily basis that I feel, however I feel like using the certain brush for that day, if that makes sense. I don't think so. Alright, so the big trend right now are the beauty blenders. I personally do not use beauty blenders to use foundation on my face, simply because with beauty blenders they tend to absorb more of the foundation when I'm trying to get that full coverage type of look. So if you're a trend follower and you like using beauty blenders and you're already using a beauty blender because you don't have any other brush, then this would be the thing to use, and I'll show you some techniques on how you can use your beauty blender to also get a flawless effect. Like brush number 2, the flathead brush. I actually have 2 of them. With the flathead brush, most people, I think this brush here can give you the most total coverage. Only thing is, it tends to make your makeup look kind of cakey if you overdo it. I'm going to show you how you can use this brush to get full coverage looks, as well as making it look flawless and making it look more blended in than it just sitting there on your face. And last but not least, I'm going to show you how to use a buffer brush, and this is by Crown Brush. There is also the Real Technique brand brush that's also good, and the reason why I like using the buffer brush, which I use most of the time for my makeup, is because it can be used for powder or it can be used for liquid foundations out there for your face. With these, they're easier to blend in and also gives you a more even appearance to your foundation, where one side won't look so, I guess, not cakey, but one side won't look so laid and the other side won't look so fade, if you understand what I'm saying here. Alright, so before you even apply your foundation, the first thing you want to do is use a primer. And if you guys don't know what a primer is something that gives your makeup something to sit on so that it's not being absorbed into your skin, especially for those of you out there who have pores and oily skin of that nature. So, using a primer, gives it more of a lasting feeling versus you having to touch it up like every 2 to 3 hours if you have to. So yeah, you always want to use a primer. And another thing about primers is, because that makeup is, if you don't use a primer, because that foundation and all that makeup is absorbing in your skin, it can also cause breakouts. So this is also a way to prevent breakouts and anything in that nature. So before I get started, I'm going to prime my face with my primer. And what I do is I just take it, it's kind of melted, and I just put it in the 4 corners of my face and also my nose, and just rub it in like it's lotion. Now you can apply primer as soon as you are done putting on your lotion or facial cream, whatever you use to moisturize your face. You can use that to you can use the primer right after you apply it. What I normally like to do is let my primer kind of soak in like 1 to 2 minutes, or sometimes 30 seconds, because I might be in a rush that day, just to give it some time to, like, I guess you can say, stick to your face. You want to take your foundation and give it a good shake, just so you can get all the product in it all mixed up and ready to work and everything. The first technique I'm going to show you is using the buffer brush. I normally take it and I put it onto my brush, and I just use tapping motions like I'm doing so, and I put it in the 4 corners of my face just so I don't overuse the product. I just wipe it like I'm doing so. And you want to use like short sweeping strokes so that you can get it spread it all over your face. If you want to do like this help also blends it in more in a circular motion. And this is what they call buffering, by the way. And boom. And this is pretty much your look. Now because I'm doing this 4 different times on my face, I figured that I would not go all the way up on my forehead, so I might miss some areas just for the simple fact that I'm going to have to take this right back off. Another thing that you can do with this brush is tap it on like this, and that also helps. Like so. Even, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm still kind of blending it in some more. And this gives you an airbrush effect while giving you the coverage that you need. So boom, that's the buffer brush. And I'm just going to wipe this back off now. Alright, now I'm going to show you how you can apply foundation using the flat foundation brushes. So what I like to do, and this is a little bit different than what I did the first time with the buffer brush, I like to put the foundation on my hand. And I like to take my finger and put it in the same 4 corners like I did before. Or 5, because my nose. And then take either brush. I'm going to do one side with this brush and the other side with this one, just so you can get the fuller effect, because one is a bit more denser than the other. This is a Clinique brush, by the way. And I'm just going to take the rest that I had on my hand and swipe it on the brush like this. And this time you just want to use this to swipe starting from the inside first. And as you get to the outside, like so, you want to use this motion to blend it in. So anytime you're on the inside of your face, like in this area of your face, you just want to take it and sweep it out. Like sweeping the floor. Now one thing I can say about this brush it does take a little, like, depending on how experienced you are with it, it does take a little bit more time, but it also gives you more of a precise type of look. So I'm going to use the crown brush, and this one's a bit more denser, so I might get more coverage with it. And it might not take so long to blend it as well. just takes a little longer than the first one. And this is how it looks. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to use the lovely, what everyone likes to call, the beauty blenders. So I think I'm only going to do one side of my face this time, just so I'm being easy with my makeup. So with the beauty blenders, the first thing you want to do is make sure you damp it with either water or even if you have like a spray primer or a oil water based primer, you can even damp it with that. This just gives it something to spread it out with and kind of help on that not absorbing so much of your product, so that it's actually going on your face and not in the sponge. With that being said, with this one, I do not like to put it on the sponge simply because it takes up so much product, and I've already damped it with water. With these, you don't want to rub it. No, you just want to tap it and let it do its own work because it's a sponge. Alright, so I just take it and tap it. We're just tapping it the whole entire time. And that's how the beauty blender does its job. Me personally, I don't like it. I also want to go and do one for the powder on my other side with the buffer brush. The buffer brush is the only one that I feel you can use with powder. So I'm going to show you how that works. So you want to take your powder and your brush. And your brush. And you want to rub it on there like that in a circular motion. Tap off the excess like I just did. And you want to take it and go in a circular motion with it. And you'll see like little flyaway particles, but that's perfectly okay. Now this gives you a lighter coverage. So when you're using powder, if you want a full coverage, you want to use a sponge to get more coverage, because you can pat it on, so it's not, the powder is not going to be absorbed into the sponge because it's not a liquid consistency, it's dry, so it's just going to sit on the sponge. Versus with a buffer brush, because it has bristles, it's going to seep between the bristles. So to get a full coverage using this, you have to do it, I say at least 2 times, depending on how much coverage you get using the brush the first time around and how much coverage your powder is going to give you. So this is the coverage that I got just using the powder on the other side of my face. And I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I figured since it was like almost close to school and everyone's going back to school, this would be a great video for people to, I guess, if they want to go in feeling fresh and new, like, you know, they done hit the bombziggity.com, then hey, these are videos that are going to be able to help you. So stay tuned for next Tuesday. And as always, be beautiful.